Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Anca and I do art and illustration related videos. So if you're into that, make sure you subscribe and check out the other videos on my channel. So today is my first video tattoo related. I will show you guys all the process of me preparing for the tattoo I'm making and what I have learned in this first week of practicing. So you will see here I am using a couple of things to prep my faux setup. So I'm using Vaseline, gloves, stencil stuff, some clip cord covers, some elastic bands, 5R needle, which is 5-liner round needle. I also have some green soap mixed with some water for cleaning my fake skin. The fake skin I will be working on is from Reelskin. Apparently it's the best one from YouTube recommendations. Here I am just cleaning the fake skin so that it doesn't have any oils from my fingers and that the application of the stencil is easier. And I will be making my stencils here using this Spirit stencil paper, which is basically carbon paper. And the way it works, you just apply a bit of pressure with a pencil and the design will be on the other side of the paper. So this paper comes with a special type of paper on which the carbon goes. But I found that for fake skin, applying the A4 plain paper directly on the carbon paper works just as well, if not even better. So the designs I am making here are not my designs. I took some designs from Pinterest, so please don't come for me for that, but I wanted to just get used to the machine holding in my hand and to the whole process without worrying too much about these designs at first. So I went with 2 sparrows and a dagger. These are pretty classic designs, and as you will see at the end of the video, I have a couple of fake skins that I worked on this week, and I will share with you at the end of the video what were my main mistakes with each one. But I started off with some really complicated designs and then I realized I should definitely try something more simple. So this is the reason why I'm using these 2 designs with sparrows and the dagger. So here I am just applying the stencil stuff. You don't need a lot of it. A really tiny amount will be enough. And you just spread it around with your hand, which should be covered by a glove, and just make it uniform. A very thin layer is more than enough. Once you get that on your fake skin, you can apply your stencils. I found that this stencil paper is quite thin and tends to not stick very well to the fake skin. I think that on real skin it actually sticks better, but for another design I did, which you will see at the end of the video, I used just the A4 paper and it worked much better. One huge mistake I made with the stencil when I did my actual first tattoo, so this is my first try. When I did the first try, I left the stencil to dry for 2 days and you cannot get it off. So I definitely recommend you let it dry about 15 minutes before you start working on it. Otherwise you will be stuck with that kind of indigo purplish contour, and I haven't found a way to clean the stencil off. Here I'm just carefully applying the stencil. It's not a perfect application, but it's okay for this particular scenario. And here I am just taking my clip cord and my machine, which is a Bronc V8 Hummingbird. This particular machine is a pen rotary machine. It comes with a pedal and power supply on which you can read the voltage, which is really important. For this particular practice I used the voltage, started off with a 7.5 and then went up to an 8 because I thought it was a bit too slow and not that powerful. The reason I am using clip cord covers and covering everything up is because I want to get used to the whole hygienic process and preparing everything so that it's clean. And yeah, I basically want to get into this routine of prepping my station. So I just attached my needle and now I am ready to start tattooing. I take a bit of Vaseline, put it on the right side since I am a left-handed person, and I also use the Vaseline to stabilize my ink cap. The ink I'm using is dynamic ink. I don't know if it's very good. It came with the machine. It's probably not the best ink out there, but if you have any recommendations for when I do switch over to reelskin, then please let me know in the comment section. Now my machine it says that it has a stroke from 3.5 to 4.5. I still haven't figured out how to adjust the stroke of the needle, so if you know how to adjust it on a Hummingbird Bronc V8, please let me know in the comments. As you will see, I struggled quite a bit with the line art in this design. Straight lines are really hard for me to do, especially because I'm used to moving around my paper when I work, and I know that with tattoos that's not possible in a real life scenario. I still did that with the fake skin just so I wouldn't have a really crappy design, but as you can see, my first lines are very wobbly and you can see that I am unsure of what I'm doing, and there is a lot of hesitation, which is perfectly fine and normal, but I found that working on really simple designs is much more beneficial to me at the beginning. And actually a friend asked the tattoo artist for some advice for me in the beginning, and he said just focus on the line work until you get it perfect, and then you can move on to shading and other stuff. So that's definitely what I will be doing in the next months. You will probably be seeing a lot of videos with me trying to tattoo fake skin and probably failing most of the time, but that's okay. So I noticed that organic lines are much easier for me. I guess it's just how my hand is used to working with brushes and paints. It just flows naturally, more organically. So geometric things are really hard. But the main mistakes I made with this particular fake skin were not being confident enough, and I'm not sure if I am working at the right voltage right now. My hand speed is quite slow, and from what I've researched online, 8 volts is pretty okay for a beginner, but maybe it's a bit too strong for me. I'm not sure. I'm still working things out as I go along. As you can see, I did go across some lines. Some lines I went over 2 times, which is basically a no-no. And yeah, there were a lot of struggles. The dagger is definitely not symmetric. The birds, I think the easiest part for me were the wings. Other than that, the longer lines in the design were really hard to do in one stroke, and I guess it's just a matter of practice. So I'm not sure if this machine is very good. I know that a lot of people recommend the Injecta, but I didn't want to invest so much money in the beginning because I'm not sure if this will take me anywhere in the future. I just wanted to have an idea of how machine guns work and yeah, how the whole process is. I'll learn how to set up everything, learn what each thing does, learn which needles I need to use for what. You definitely need to know a lot and to learn a lot in the beginning to be able to even start tattooing. So when I decided I want to take on this journey, I took an online course. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and it was a whole preparation before I even bought anything and before I even touched a tattoo machine gun. So do your research before. That's my main advice. So I will let you watch the rest of the process of me tattooing with all of my wobbly and unsure lines, and please stick until the end of the video where you will see all my attempts at tattooing from this week. There are 4 fake skins with different designs on them, and I will talk a bit about each one and what I could have done better and what I really screwed up. So please continue watching, and I'll see you at the end of the video. So this was my first attempt at tattooing. I went a bit overboard. As I said, I left the stencil on for way too long, for 2 days. As you can see on the back, my lines are very all over the place. The needle depth is pretty much all over the place. Some will be very blown out and some are very soft. This is my second attempt. Again, a very complicated design, and I even went in with some shading, which was a huge mistake. But I wanted to see how the Magnum needles work, and as you can see, the shading is really rough. And on the back, again, the needle depth is very off. So this is the attempt I did in this video. The lines are pretty shaky and not very even. As you can see, some are really not straight, the dagger is very uneven and not symmetrical, but on the back, at least, the needle depth is better than the first 2 tries. And my last attempt is probably the best one yet. Again, there are some Pinterest designs, and I think the flower and the mom tattoo turned out really okay. The spaceship with the ellipses is not that great. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you will enjoy this new journey I'm on, and let me know your thoughts and if you have any advice in the comments, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.